Family, you know what time it is. It's 11 a.m. East Coast time. This is Brew. Hey, you in for the beat down. We're gonna have a good show today, so don't worry. I don't know how long we're gonna be here, but we're gonna have a good show while it lasts. Why do I sound like P.T. Barnum? But that's alright though. We're gonna have a good show. Looking forward to this for real. Got some things to talk about, both combat and non-combat sports. It's gonna be a good show. That's the Badger right there. You got anything before we go to the introduction?
No, brother, I'm happy to be here, man. It's Thursday. It's the last show of the week, depending on what calendar you look at. Got some interesting things to talk about, man. Had a slight problem with internet connection there, but I'm here for therapy, baby. Let's do it.
All right, let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, batten down the hatches. We'd like to introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the Beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
What's going on, family? Where'd I go? Oh Lord, they done taking me out the camera again today. What? I'm trying to figure this out. All right, I guess I'm back. Now where'd the Badger go? Ain't this nothing? Hold on. All right, this is some crazy stuff going on here. Like Eddie Murphy said in The Nutty Professor, this is some freaky.
You got to relax, girl.
Well, bro, when stuff happens, stuff happens. So what you got
There
for
we
today?
go.
Yeah,
Man, I
what we
got
got?
nothing, man. I'm in a bad mood today, bro, because as you can see, we got no Marvel today. Like, this is maybe only like the second time in the history of the show where I didn't have some dope, epic, groundbreaking Marvel Cinematic Universe movie playing in the background. So my energy may be a little off today, bro. I ain't got no Tony Stark, no Steve Rogers, no T'Challa. Nobody to keep me uplifted, so it's just me and you today, bro.
Wow, you make it sound like that's gonna be difficult. All right, then.
Nah, man, you do all the heavy lifting, bro, so it's all good.
Wow. Well, according to you, I do all the heavy lifting just by standing up, but that's okay. That's okay. So, hey,
Hey,
I got some non-combat news. So before we get into that,
to
what you got
start the
combat related?
show,
I'm,
oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
Mm. Did you see your boy David Benavides?
No,
Did you see how he came after Big Charlo?
fill me in.
Nah, I guess Charlo was doing his thing, and David Benavides was like, "Look, bro, instead of all that yapping, we can make it happen in September." So now I'm waiting on Big Charlo to respond because I mean that's pretty much a call out. He's like saying, "Look, you doing all this talking about you doing this and that. You want Canelo? Well, ain't neither one of us gonna get him. You can come see me, and we can make it happen in September since we both probably gonna have a date before then. Let's make
Yo,
this happen in September."
that's crucial. That's crucial. And to be honest, if I'm advising Big Charlo, I get back to him as soon as possible.
And we make this fight happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, it seems to be though that Big Charlo is looking at quote unquote the bigger fish, which is what we typically say when A, either we want the big money, we feel like we can get to the big money, or B, we may not feel like the juice is worth the proverbial squeeze on this opponent. He's talking about Danny Jacobs. Now that fight has also been kind of brewing ever since that little exchange they had at the Barclays Center after a fight a couple of years ago when Danny Jacobs pretty much said that, Charlo, we know what kind of money you make and you ain't touching no M's. And Charlo was quiet. He couldn't say anything because at that time he probably wasn't touching M's. Now that's not the case. The Miracle Man hasn't looked great his last couple of fights. Charlo's rolling. That or Benavides? Which one?
I want to see the Benavides fight. Now, from Charlo, I probably take the Jacobs fight.
Okay, explain yourself.
Well, to me, Benavides is a little bit more explosive, a little bit more dangerous than Jacobs right now. I'm not taking anything away from Jacob's story, his heart. I'll still retire from this saying that he beat Triple G. But I think right now Benavides is the one who I would worry about more in the ring than Jacobs. I think Benavides has more to bring to the table. He got more cans of whoop in his back pocket than Jacobs has right now. And I think matchup wise, Charlo will be able to really work around and keep Jacobs at bay until he could deliver that right hand.
Wow. So you really copping a squat on Danny Jacobs, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, bro, that is amazing. So,
I still like Jacobs. I still like him.
Junior, doesn't sound like you do.
But the last time I saw him, he looked like he was heading on the road down.
Last time you checked on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fight for Rosario did nothing for his stock. As a matter of fact, it probably raised Rosario's stock a little bit and dropped Jacob's stock. But
Yeah.
we know who Jacobs is. You know,
Do we?
former world champion. Yeah. Jacobs can fight his butt off. What
Wait a
we
minute, but
come
you
to
said
find out, though,
former,
what
right?
we come
We
to
don't
find
know who
out-
Jacobs really is now after that last
Yeah, we do.
performance.
Yeah, we do. We know that Jacobs fights down to his competition, which is problematic. But what we also know is that it seems that brother Danny Jacobs may be liking these silk sheets he's sleeping in a lot. He's got a hot new girlfriend, Angela Simmons, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not saying he's doing a Keith Thurman thing because he's not injured and all that, but is he 100% focused in there? Because this is the same Danny Jacobs usually willing to tar and feather people in the streets for saying he lost Triple G. Remember that? You were hounding then.
Yeah, because
The
he
only
didn't
fight-
lose.
the
I'm
only
just
fight
I
that we
speak
don't
facts,
know-
bro.
The only fight that we saw where he looked like he just really wasn't ready was the Canelo fight, and maybe Canelo's just that good. But
He wasn't
I
ready for
don't
that
know
Gabe
about
Rosado fight either.
I don't know about Danny Jacobs being an easy fight. I don't know if, listen, to be completely honest with you, I don't know if any of those guys beat Danny Jacobs.
Here's the thing. I didn't say an easy fight. What I said was easier than Benavidez for Charlo. So I would like to find out. I like to see.
Even though we know that David's defense ain't the best, you still rocking with David? You still think that's a tougher matchup?
I think he's gonna. What I saw of Danny Jacobs really shook me. What I saw him against Gabe Rosado, that really shook me
I can't
because
argue with you there, bro.
he didn't bring any aggressiveness. He didn't bring any skill. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna do just enough to survive. And if I was one of the judges, he lost the fight. But he got the decision. That was one of those times where I felt bad rooting for somebody. So
Wow.
no, if he comes like that at anywhere similar to that against Charlo, he gets washed. His heart wasn't in it, bro.
Well, listen, there's no doubt about that. What I'm simply implying is that do we think that Danny Jacobs has lost any of his physical capabilities? Because if the answer is no, then okay, if he laid an egg against Gabe Rosado and squeaked the decision, I'm okay with that. But if you're telling me that you think some of his physical skills have declined, now that's a different conversation.
Physical skills, honestly, and I can explain this if I need to, physical skills don't worry me as much as your mental capacity, your focus, your drive, those things internal. That's what shakes me more about a fighter, because you can always, as gifted a boxer as Danny Jacobs has been, if a physical skill starts to diminish, you can game plan around it, but you can't game plan around mental.
So what I hear you saying is that Danny Jacobs is mentally not there. Are you implying that because of his last 3 fights, the loss against Canelo, he beat up a weird and somewhat maybe under the influence Cesar Chavez Jr. He turns around and you know, he lays a proverbial egg against Gabe, but he wins the fight. Tell me what you're really trying to say, because I want to understand if you're saying to me right now that Danny Jacobs couldn't beat Dave Benavidez or Jamal Charlo. Is that what you're saying?
If the same Danny Jacobs showed up against Gabe Rosado, that's what I'm saying. Mentally, he's still physically gifted. His physical tools that he chose to use kept him in that fight against Rosado. That he chose to use. My worry was he wasn't focused. Mentally, he wasn't even in the fight. I'm talking about from round 1 through.
And I hear you. I understand that. But what I'm saying is we know that either one of those gentlemen, whether it be Jamal or David, will have to fight the fight of their lives to beat Danny Jacobs.
Not the Danny Jacobs that showed up against Gabe Rosado.
They haven't faced anyone like him. Okay, so if you're going to grade him on his last performance, even though he won, I'm with that, bro. But I want you to be a man of conviction here and tell me that you're not basing Danny Jacobs versus any of these two guys on his last fight.
Let's be realistic. At this point in anybody's career that's the same age and had the fights, the wear and tear on them as Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs physically passes the eye test. But what I saw, his output, his commitment, his drive, his boxing acumen in that Gabe Rosado fight was not the same Danny Jacobs I had ever seen before. And I'm talking about when he fought Canelo, when it didn't matter. The Danny Jacobs I saw step into the ring against Gabe Rosado looked the part, but did not fight the part. And if he does not, if he fights like that, if mentally he's just not in it anymore, emotionally invested in it like he was when I saw him beat Triple G, I don't see him beating Charlo. I don't see him beating Benavidez because they're going to bring way more to the table than Gabe Rosado brought. Now, if that was just a fluke, we won't know until he fights again. So you can judge a fighter based on their last performance when they get to a certain point in their career. Am I saying that he sucks? No. But what I'm saying is if that same Joker shows up with the same emotional investment that he had in this last fight, he's going to get beat. But if it's the old Danny Jacobs, the Danny Jacobs I saw in any other fight, they're going to have, like you said, fight their tails off to beat him. So it just depends on which Danny Jacobs climbs in those ropes.
Okay, bro. I hear you. What's going on with Uncle Bob, man? Uncle Bob, does Uncle Bob have dementia? What is that? Uncle Bob is running around here lying on people, bro.
He's been doing
now, yeah, but it seems to just no. You're right, but it seems to be happening at an exponential rate. Every week, Bob lying on somebody. Now, I woke up this morning and I got a call from Earl Spence.
What?
He said, "Bro, you woke me. What happened?" I said, "What happened, EJ?" He said, "Man, Bob lied on me." I said, "All right, EJ, I got this. Hold on." Put EJ on hold. Call Bob. Bob voicemail me, bro. So what the moral of the story is, Uncle Bob is out here lying, saying that he's talked to Al Heyman and that Al Heyman is okay with making the fight, but Earl Spence is the holdup. What is Uncle Bob doing, bro? Is this his way of? Is this some old tactic used to promote the fight?
He's old.
You know more about him than I do. You grew up with him. What's going on, bro?
First of all, Uncle Bob changed your first diaper, so I don't really want you. Wow. Uncle Bob's old. He's an old, conniving promoter. Just like Don King. That's why they can't stand each other, but they get the same rewards. Lifetime achievement. So
Hey, Don got a fight card coming up down in South Florida. Maybe you should probably go.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of mafia there. Just,
go ahead, I mean to cut off, bro. Go ahead.
But listen, that Bob Arum is not doing anything Bob Arum hadn't been doing for decades. It's just now more people have access to get him out there with their own programs on social media, with Twitter, IG, Twitch, whatever they can use to get. They think that Bob Arum is saying something earth-shaking, and all Bob Arum is saying is, give me another pill and some coffee. That's really what he's saying. But, to get that, he has to spew something that'll shock somebody. You know good and well. I don't see EJ. Matter of fact, I should call EJ now. I'm on the air. But yeah, that's Bob Arum, man. I mean, when Bob Arum speaks, you check to see how many X-Lax are left in his cabinet. That's pretty much what you got to do.
Wow. But yeah, just a quick update. Don King's fight is tomorrow down in South Florida. So if anybody's watching, they want to go see a Don King promotion.
A COVID spreader. Go ahead.
Hey, relax. We can't promote that right now. We got the big game coming to town next week. We got to hold down that right now.
We're in South Florida.
Listen, I think it's in Palm Beach, man.
There you go.
There you go. Hey, what kind of guy are you, bro? What kind of don't stop me, bro.
Speaking of that, you hear what the Miami Heat are doing?
No, what happened?
Because they want to allow fans in the stands, they're gonna bring in COVID sniffing dogs. So, what? Okay, first of all,
full disclosure. Before you say that about the COVID sniffing dogs, bro, I was told by a reliable source. I'm not gonna name names because I need to keep my intel coming in. They're also going to start doing anal swabs for COVID. You heard it here first, bruh. I didn't make this up. You couldn't make this up. This is something that came organically to me. I was not asked about this, bro.
Watch me.
So, there you go. Continue on.
That's for the COVID, the anal swabs. First of all, that's some...
Bro, listen, you know it ain't even my style, bro, but it came to me organically, bro. So I feel like
literally.
Okay? Yeah. All right, enough. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. To get into a game or what? What?
man, listen. Don't shoot the messenger, man. All right?
No, just repeat that, please.
Don't do like the brother he did in 300, right?
I won't. Please.
It's Sparta. He was just a messenger, bro.
But please.
Don't do me like that. No, I'm not repeating anything.
Just repeat what you said, please.
No,
please.
I'm not repeating it.
Come
Hopefully
on.
they were here to hear it. If not, I'm sorry.
No, I need to hear it again.
No, you do not.
Now, they're doing COVID anal swabs for what? I mean, who's doing it? Who's really doing it? Who woke up one day and said, you know what? I think I can figure out if he got COVID by digging in his butt. Who really? Is this to get into a basketball game, bro?
Hey, man, go ahead, man. Hey, keep going with the COVID sniffing dogs.
No, this is better. This is literally breaking news. Cause you're gonna tell me of all people about it,
man.
and then you're gonna tell me to go on. Really?
Keep going, bro. Keep going. Why you keep stopping? Keep going, bro. What's happening right now, man? What is going on?
I mean, did this happen to your intel?
Bro, no, bro.
Because this would literally be first-hand news.
Come on, man. You gotta relax. Back to the dogs, man.
So
Miami
Heat decided they're gonna have COVID sniffing dogs. This is man. I didn't know you could smell COVID.
I mean, well,
I think
bro,
what it is
man.
They were smelling too much of that cabbage on the hardwood, and the players were getting distracted. And
could be.
I mean, come on, dog.
No, but check this out, though, man. We gotta stop. We gotta stop just taking anything people give us, bro. Like
an anal swab,
right? To get into a game or a COVID sniffing dog. Listen. Under what circumstance do we say, "Hey, this is the test you're resorting to"? Like, this is the answer to all your life's problems. Just get this and you straight. Like, I don't understand how this works. But good for Miami Heat. I mean, maybe this is one of those things where I guess any publicity is good publicity.
No, because first of all,
I would go just to see if the dog was. Bro, why not?
They're drug sniffing dogs, bro.
Of course, they're in Miami. What else are they really?
Exactly.
Okay,
my thing is, but look, check this out. I really think this would help us if we can come up with this. This would help us really finance this show. if you can do a COVID sniffing dog, you should be able to do an STD sniffing dog. Can you just imagine how many dogs would be at the club?
Man, listen, I can't speak on that. I'm a lot older than I was, and I was, rolling the dice every now and then. But I will say this:
Really, bro?
I don't
How many
think
dogs
these
at the
young people-
casino? Go ahead.
I don't think that these young kids really care about that. Like when you listen to these
No,
these
they
young
don't.
kids,
They don't.
it doesn't sound like STDs or STIs or any of that
Nope.
thing is of any concern.
Nope.
They can get a pill for that. Like some stuff that happened when we was growing up, that was your DC number. You was stuck with that for life, right? Nowadays, these kids can get a pill of everything, so I don't think they're really afraid of that stuff anymore. But to your point, then there would be a lot less people at church as well.
No, you just have dogs at church with you. Listen, I have a buddy who ran into this, and I'm not gonna say he was in the hood, but he was in a hoodish area where he met this girl.
Hood adjacent?
Huh?
Hood adjacent?
Yeah, literally. Well, to be honest, he was literally in the hood.
Oh, okay.
Sulphur Springs. He
Springs.
he hooked up with this chick, and he said, "Oh man, I don't have any protection." And she said, "What you need protection for?" He said, "Haven't you heard of HIV, AIDS?" She said, "What's that gonna do? Magic's still alive." He said, "You ain't got magic money. You ain't gonna make it."
See, she was on to something right there, bro. She knew it was all a government hoax.
She was.
Come on, man. We just do this. We just do this for the banter, bro. Relax.
Oh.
Relax.
So.
Relax.
Anyways, breaking news. Not really. The Houston Texans hired a African American head coach. Let me carry this out. They hired an African American head coach. They didn't mention in the press release that he was 65. And at the same time, Deshaun Watson made it public that he wants to be traded. What's going on in your city, bro? Houston. What's going on down there? Kyle McNair has made Deshaun Watson feel like he is definitely not welcome. What's going on?
Well, first of all, Deshaun Watson has every reason to feel the way he does. I mean, he's your franchise quarterback, and you traded away essentially, arguably, the number one receiver in football. He didn't even tell the man. Then not only do you trade him away, you get nothing for him. Your team was not going to be better without DeAndre Hopkins. That's simple math. Then, when you fire your head coach, who was a disaster, who was also the GM, might I add,
they traded him.
Then, all your quarterback asks of you, while the team around him is imploding because J.J. Watt's probably going to be gone, all he asks of you is that you make me a part of the process. Keep me in the loop. I may not have a final say, but man, let me know the direction y'all are going in. And they didn't do it. They lied to him and told him that they would, and then they didn't do it. And then when they did it, it was almost like, well, we really want you to get along with this guy. He has every right to feel that way, but this is a business, and the Houston Texans have every right to enforce whatever the stipulations are of his contract, which could include up until being fined, I think, about $95,000 per day for every day he misses minicamp, and another $50,000 per day for something else. And if he wins, they get to collect 21 point something million dollars of whatever they owe to him. So this is going to be a weird situation. Somebody's going to have to jump in and interject, preferably maybe the LA Rams, someone with something to offer, but just needs a quarterback. Miami Dolphins, maybe they don't have to give up too much. But someone's got to come in and interject and give the Houston Texans something they feel will be worth.
Let me ask this question. Because Jacksonville said they're not interested. But you're a Jacksonville Jaguars, like baby daddy. So if you're Jacksonville, do you hold on and go draft Trevor Lawrence, or do you trade that pick and take Deshaun Watson?
Well, the problem is, does Deshaun Watson want to come to Jacksonville? Do you have enough pieces around? Huh?
If you're the GM, do you go after him? I'm not saying speak as an analyst.
I only go after Deshaun if I feel like he has some interest. Because I don't know if the pieces that I have are good enough. right? I could get Deshaun and we could be a 6 or 7 winning team if I don't have the pieces around him. Then no, I feel like a guy like Deshaun has kind of earned the right to pick where he kind of wants to go.
But it's not.
And if he's not mentioned us in any of these lists, then the answer is no. For me as a GM, no. We go ahead and roll the dice with Trevor Lawrence. We're building anyway. We've kind of, bro, we have people leaving our team to go to other places and taking pay cuts. So we got a whole culture change going on. I don't want Deshaun to come in and try to learn from Urban Meyer, who I'm not a fan of this hire either. So yeah, let Trevor Lawrence start Urban. Let's just see where it goes from there. I don't think we should go after him. I would love to have him, but I don't think we should go after him.
Everybody, well, not everybody. A lot of the analysts on ESPN seem like the Jets need to go after him, give up their first round pick and Sam Darnold for Deshaun Watson. I think the Jets still need more pieces as well, but that's just my opinion. The Dolphins, I think he would make an immediate impact if they would give up their first round pick. They have 2 first round picks, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? Yeah, they do. Because they moved Larry Tunsil, remember, over to the Texans. Yeah.
See, but I mean, to me, I would give up both of those first round picks and Tua for Deshaun Watson because you still have Ryan Fitzpatrick sitting behind him. He instantly makes your team better.
I mean, they were good this year. I mean, they laid down the last game of the season. If they'd have won that, they'd have been in the playoffs. They just really, they were a 9-7 team. Yeah, that's
so you put a Deshaun Watson on a 9-7 team who's young.
The youngest team in the league. Yeah, they ain't even paying nobody because everybody's on their rookie deals for the most part, or some type of free agent deal.
So you can really jump into the playoffs next year because, it's my opinion.
Well, I mean, the AFC East is gonna be tough next year, though. I don't know about the Jets, but you know, New England's coming back.
Yeah,
you know they're coming back. People give a lot of grief. Remember, New England had 3 Pro Bowlers sit out for COVID this year.
Yeah,
and they lost Julian Edelman. Did he sit or did they lose him very early in the season? Either way, so they were out. They were without Pro Bowl safety, Pro Bowl offensive lineman, a Pro Bowl linebacker.
But they had about 15 guys total out.
Yeah, they had the biggest amount of any team in the league sit. So the Patriots went 7-9 this year.
With nobody
back. Right. And a Cam Newton just trying to learn a new offense. You don't know if they're going to bring him back or not. But Matt Patricia is leaving Detroit and going back to be coordinator in New England. So the band is getting back together. New England will be back next year, bro.
It's going to be interesting. They said he took a non-specified role. So I guess he'll be working with the defensive coordinator because they didn't let go of their original one. Or did he take a position somewhere else?
I don't know, but he's the D coordinator.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting season when all these players come back who sat out for COVID.
Yeah, for sure.
I heard something interesting. Yes, this is a sports combat show, so we'll get back to sports combat. But I heard about your boy, the one you lobbied for. You're the one who got the poster over your bed, Tom Brady. Is here in Tampa. That's all they've been talking about is Tom Brady. And then one of the reporters this morning made a statement on the news that it's a good thing we had that defense, or we wouldn't have gotten as far as we have. And the rest of the news desk just kind of looked at her like, but she was telling the truth. That Bucs defense ought to get MVP.
Bro, listen. So what you want me to comment on that? I mean, I didn't get to see the news and see who said it, but what I've just come to find out, bro, is sometimes when you speak the truth, you're like the idiot. Or, as the kids say nowadays, you're like a hater. So as far as I'm concerned, man, I get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the organization, all the crews in the world. They gambled and they hit. How they hit and how they came up, it is of no consequence, no concern. They're there. So that's all I got for that, man. That's all I got. I think I threw a couple of Tom Brady stats out there the other day on the program, and that was wild to me. Like, I didn't know that. I'm someone that, up until very recently, followed the game fairly close. And for the man to be 3-1 in playoff games where he's thrown more than 3 interceptions, that's crazy.
That is wild. When you said
and
that,
he's 5-0 in playoff games where he didn't throw a touchdown pass. So, yeah, bro.
So you really root for him to have a bad game in the playoffs?
No. I'm just saying those are stats that I pointed out because we were,
Right. No, I'm
we just,
saying it's good
yeah.
for him to have a bad game if he's on your team.
Oh yeah. Looks like it works out that way, right?
Yeah. Listen, saw an interview with your boy Tony Khan, Shad Khan's son, the one who runs AEW. He said it took a lot of arguing, debating, business proposals, and convincing for his dad, because his dad figured AEW was going to fail up until the time his dad actually saw the first big event. It's interesting when you get to hear people who are behind the scenes talking about stuff really comment. I was going to ask you about his dad, but I know you don't want to go back to football because his dad said he was going to keep total control of player personnel no matter what coach he hired. Kind of figured he might have, kind of relinquished on that when he hired Urban Meyer, but we'll see. But yeah, for his son to talk about how his dad never watched wrestling, knew anything about wrestling, he just didn't see it as a viable business as much as his son worked to convince him until after they sunk the money, the investment into it, and they had their first big pay-per-view, and his dad saw the numbers at the gate and on the pay-per-view, and they didn't even have a TV show then. Then his dad started saying, hey, there might be something to this wrestling thing. He said, but now his dad studies it. Even though his dad doesn't run it, his dad studies it so he can offer his opinion, since it's his money. Would you invest your money in something that your son brought to you if you didn't agree with it?
Come on, bro. Come on.
I'm asking.
Come on, bro.
Asking.
Bro, if I don't agree with it, an investment, those are two different things. Does it make business sense is the bigger question. If the answer is yes, I might be obliged to put a little something in it.
All right. Well, the other night on CNBC, I was watching this show with Marcus Lemonis, I think that's his name. He does a show called The Prophet, but he was doing another show about Denver's Green Mile, if you know what I'm saying, the cannabis district. And they were talking about this one company, the guy who started. He used to work for Coors. He was the master brewer at Coors. He's the only one in the country with a PhD in beer making, literally. And he also started Blue Moon, the biggest IPA in the world. Well, now he has created a beer that has weed in it. But to get around the issues, it's non-alcoholic, and he had to invent a system to where once he got the beer to the distribution point, then they could infuse the marijuana in there because they couldn't ship it
Right.
already infused across state lines.
Right. Yeah,
So-
figure out a way now.
But he did it, and if I had the money and could find his company listed, I would put money into it till the cows came home, because I guarantee that's gonna hit.
Oh yeah.
A non-alcoholic beer that tastes like good beer, but it also has the healing properties of the cabbage.
Sounds like a deal to me. I don't even drink beer.
See, I'm sure it'll be stacked all up in your refrigerator.
Might be right next to the alkaline water.
Just be belching the whole show. Hey, alkaline water. Shout out to you for that.
Hey
That must
man,
have
listen,
been
we got some interesting things going on today, bro. Did you know that today, and I'm pretty sure you did, is the anniversary of the Columbia disaster?
Yeah.
Or was it Challenger? I get
It
them
was a
mixed up.
challenger.
It was a Challenger. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's crazy.
2 days to the year after we lost Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, that was just the other day too. That was wild, bro. I bet if we look through history every day, we'll probably reveal some crazy stuff happening on that particular day, bro. I mean, it's just too much going on in the world for it to not, happen. But it just lets you know how quick time passes by, man. That was crazy. I remember when. So was that the Columbia that exploded in 2002? That was the Columbia then, right? Because the Challenger was back in the 80s, right?
You know what?
Or are we getting them mixed up? This is
I
bad.
think the Columbia was the very first space shuttle. I don't think anything happened to that.
No, both of those shuttles exploded. One exploded in 2002,
And one
and
in
then the new one's in the 80s, 86, I
85,
think.
86,
85, yeah. So
85.
yeah,
Sally Ride was on
yeah.
that one. I'm not sure, bro. I need to look
Either
into that.
way, people in Fight Shirt Nation, they can correct us on that. But yeah, just really hit home, man. You know, being and living in Florida, and having to watch those. That was because when we were growing, up, that was a thing. Like we would actually go out and watch the space show every time they lifted off. I remember doing it all the way up into middle school. We would do it.
I got something for you. Do you know
Okay.
it was? I think it was 1997 or 1996 was the last time that all humans were on Earth.
Wait, run it by me again.
It was either 1997 or 1996 was the last time that all humans were on Earth at one time.
So there was nobody in space in orbit.
Ever since then, there's always been somebody on the space station.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Really?
My mind kind of goes out there when I hear stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're on the space station and a nuclear disaster or something really happens on Earth, what do you do then?
You just eventually starve to death.
Yeah, because you can't get back.
Yeah. And no
You got to
supplies
sit
coming.
there and look at it.
Yeah. You know that you're yours is how many days or months away, or how much oxygen supply you have in there. I know those things are solar operated, but I mean there still has to be some other stuff, brought in to keep up the maintenance and the food and the water. I mean, granted, those things.
Well, I think
water
the
filtration,
water,
yeah,
they're
that
able
kind of run.
yeah, the water themselves, I think they're able to reproduce.
Yeah, they can do that.
And the
But the food, man.
food, I think they have a way to grow or reproduce their own food as well. I need to look into that. But I don't know. I've always wanted to go into outer space, but that's always been my one thought. What if a disaster happened while I'm
That
up
was an
there?
interesting fact, though, bro. I never knew that. So every year since then, so for the last 24 years, there's always been somebody in space. That's dope. Wow. So
And
is evolution.
since there's no gravity on your body, you really don't age while you're there. Because gravity is one of the main causes
Oh yeah,
of
you
us
definitely.
aging.
It would probably be but this though too, though, bro. So but your muscles would also begin to atrophy a little bit because you're not using them because there's no gravity weighing down on you. So
Well, if you
it
notice,
would be interesting as to how you age. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think it would be a little slow, but I also think you'd kind of shrink you naturally just your posture and stuff because you're not to hold all that weight up.
if you notice, if you pay attention, they always seem to go through some exercise regimen every day. And I know that has something to do with it, to make sure your muscles keep working. And you're right. How can you build them if you have nothing put against them?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Even that is limited. That's just to kind of keep your body in some type of shape during the duration of your stay there, right? So if you're there for 6 months,
Yeah.
you're going to be doing these workouts. Excuse me. But yeah, even still though, that's not a replacement. You are born on Earth as a human here, on this terrain. So no matter what kind of exercise you do up there, your body's not going to adjust. It's just not going to be the same.
That's why you need Thor's hammer.
Indeed, you do. Listen, today, hey man, my buddy had a birthday, Greg Popovich. Shout out to the GOAT, man.
Shout out to Grace.
72 years young. It's pretty dope, man. Yeah, it's my guy, man.
Actually, he deserves something better than that because I actually like Greg.
And Greg likes us.
Yes.
And Greg likes us.
He has shown that. Greg has shown that. He's a fair man. He hasn't heard that while in San Antonio, but we'll get him.
Man, you better chill, dude. Stop slandering my guy. Today's also J. Cole's birthday.
I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna do
I
this.
didn't know J. Cole was 36, bro.
What?
Yeah, J. Cole is 36, my guy. But when
Wow.
you think about it, bro, he's been out what? Probably about 10 years, right?
At
About
least,
early to like 2009, 10 is when he hit the scene, probably.
yeah.
So it's been a while. It's been 12 years. That's
Yeah.
probably about right,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Or longer. Just yeah. Because I
Well, since we've
remember
known him
since
as a
we've
mainstream
yeah.
artist, yeah.
Down
Hmm.
to the flow. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Shout out to J.
Wow.
Cole.
Shout out to J. Cole.
Yeah, man. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Stand up,
North
man.
Carolina.
Bro, we got some great fights coming up. We didn't talk about this yesterday. We supposed to already be excited. You know what happens in 2 weeks? Are you aware?
I should be aware.
You should be.
Kamara Usman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gilbert Burns, you ain't said
Yeah.
nothing about it. Why are we not letting Fighters Shed Nation know how hype we are about this fight?
Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna get into it and start talking about it, and they're gonna get tired of hearing about it by the end of next week.
Also,
Hey, shout out to Stephanie.
hey, also, we got Chocolatito against
Chocolatito.
Estrada. Hey, that's going to be a good fight. And your girl that turned us down for interview, Jessica McCaskill, is getting a rematch against Cecilia Breakers. How you
Come
feel
on,
about that?
Cecilia.
Oh, there you go. I was waiting on that. That is exactly what I was waiting on. I shouldn't have threw that lob up to you like that, bro. You're making us
Appreciate
look
it.
bad. We don't care. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. We will get it at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, man. Got some glory kickboxing coming up in a couple weeks. We need to get on that, bro.
Yes, yes.
We need to get on that. Like they got a big glory kickboxing card coming up. Dang it, I was just looking at it, bro. And your guys got a fight coming up. One championship got a whole tournament starting April 7th. Hey, with your boy Moraes against Demetrius Johnson, bro. So I know you're gonna be hyped for that one. Still a little ways
Wait a
away,
minute.
but
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My boy Marias against Demetrius Johnson.
yeah. You know you undercover hater. Man.
Okay.
I know we all know that you profess your love for Demetrius Johnson. But
We all
you
hey, hey, hey. That's it. I'm
really,
pulling for Demetrius Johnson.
you're
That's what
really
it
from
is.
Baltimore, so that means you're just really a born hater. So you really don't root for nobody.
It's funny. It's funny how the people from the state who invented haterade always want to tell somebody else they're a born hater. That's okay.
Man.
That's okay. I understand what I'm dealing with. You're challenged, but that's okay.
Blame the education system, bro.
How you got a
That's all.
tilted fishing hat on? But yeah.
Yeah, blame the education system, man. I don't get my
I
last.
I tried, and you said, hey, Florida got a good education system. We love
Yep,
palm
we are.
trees and clubs.
Yep, and we gotta make sure we keep the roads paved. At least they're more important. That's it, bro. That sounds about it, right? What you hating on that for? It sounds like a recipe for success to me.
Shout out to your boy Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, man. Give the governor credit for doing his thing, man.
He ain't doing nothing. I
Damn,
say it
that's
out
all you
loud.
do?
He ain't doing nothing.
The boxing scene just reported that our brother Eric Lubin
Yes.
wants Williams, Hurt, Rosario, or Tony Harrison next. Didn't we already know this?
Yes.
Like, who else would he fight?
We
Charlo's
said
not
this
going to fight him
months
right
ago.
now.
Right.
Yeah, Charlo's not going to fight him right now because he doesn't have to, and he's trying to unify, which is the most important thing he should be worried about right now. So, yes, who else do you put Lubin in the ring with? Obviously, all those guys are what? In the top five? Those are the
Honestly,
top five guys at 54?
you tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Lubin's going to have to fight 4 different guys before he fights Charlo.
I don't think so. Two.
Okay.
Two.
I don't-
He'll have to run the murderer's row. He have to fight 2 of those 5 guys he just mentioned.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter in any particular order, but he'll have to fight J Rock, Rosario, Hurd, or Harrison. That's 4. So yeah,
I don't see him
2 of
fighting
those
any
either 4
less than
guys.
3 of them, bro.
Yeah, 3 of them dudes.
Because Charlo doesn't have to fight him. He has to build pressure.
Mm.
And you knock off 3 to 4 of those top 5, and you're already in the top 5, and you're going to do something unprecedented. One, it's going to make you look like the champion you already are. And if you turn around and beat Charlo, there'll be no pressure for you to fight them all again.
Could be some truth to that too, brother. I don't know. But you say all three, you say at least three or four. That's tough, man. That is tough. That is a tough sell. Also, I just saw where
Somebody at my
what's
neighbor's
going on.
house. Go ahead.
What's going on with the whole Robin Hood thing? You keeping up with that, bro? I
The
know you've been watching it.
yeah, you know I'm
Bro,
keeping up with
listen,
that.
bro, these dudes is they ruthless. Them boys at the top, boy, them boys don't play fair at all. You hear me? At all.
They
We'll
driving
shut
up
the
the
game down.
price.
We will shut the game down before we let y'all come up. This is crazy.
Yes.
This is crazy.
But it's okay. There are two schools of thought on stock because I know you follow this as well. Day traders are notorious for getting together in packs eventually and looking at a stock that's low and buying it, and driving the cost of it up, and then selling. And then the company just drops. And you think about all the people who work for that company, now the company can't afford to pay them. I know it sounds crazy, but you think about GameStop. There's nothing special about GameStop that after 2 or 3 decades now their stock rises like crazy in a week, 2 weeks. The only difference is the people from Robinhood are saying, hey, let's pool all our money into this, drive it up as high as we can, and then hopefully some other people will say, let's not research their history, let's just buy this stock, and then they'll make a killing and get out, and then GameStop has nothing to fall back on. Just my opinion.
That could be a thing.
Well, if I ever had money to play the stock market, I'd be dangerous. But I wouldn't do the stock market anymore. I would do insurance.
Hey.
If you want to know why, DM me.
Hey, there you go. I'm with that. So we come up against it, bro. What we got?
Listen. This weekend is really not a lot. I think there's a fight night next weekend. And then the week after that, the 13th, we have the big fight in the UFC. That's going to be a monster. That is worthy of something that I haven't made in a long time. So, if you happen to be in my neighborhood, you might want to stop by because I am going to do something that's horrible if you have bad cholesterol. I'm doing crab meat stuffed macaroni and cheese balls. Might sound not too tasty, but you think about lump crab meat and a creamy mac and cheese rolled up and deep fried. Yes. Not healthy at all. And there's no need for me to do a vegan mac and cheese because I'm using crab meat.
Bro, look, you ain't got to sell me on it, man. Like, and I know what you being from where you from, you know how to do a lot to a crab. So, let me know when the party is, man. If I need to put in on it, let me know. Just saying, bro, you can't get all that stuff by yourself. Like, not at one time, maybe. No. Let me help you out. I got you, bro.
I got a 5-year-old with an appetite.
I bet. You know, crab meat is light anyway, so yeah.
Listen, the first time she had it, her mother does not like picking crabs. Okay, and we had gone to Baltimore so she could meet my family. And Morgan had to be like 8 months old. And I'm picking crab meat, and she comes by me, and I pick her up and put her on and I gave her a piece of crab meat. And she started pointing to the crab like, keep picking. I'm like, I have created a monster. And my mom fell out laughing because she was like, that's why at 3 years old, I made you learn how to pick your own crabs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like a rite of passage up there, I guess.
It sounds like it.
That's right. We always have tough pads on our fingers because you picking them crabs and get stuck,
Yeah.
you realize the pain is worth it. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Because when you cut your finger and get seasoning in it as a kid, yeah. But now, I cut my finger with a knife and dip it in bleach. I'm good. I ain't it's not gonna bother me. Hey, wow, we are up against it. All right. Shout out to I recognize this person from somewhere. Stephanie Salazar. Shout out to you for commenting. Shout out to Mom, Pops, Miss Darlene, my wife, my daughter. I keep hearing this sawing, and it's got to be from my neighbor's house, but I'm like, who has a manual saw this day and time?
Ooh.
When's the last time you used a manual saw, bro?
Wow, I don't know. Every time I've used a saw, it's been a chainsaw. Yeah, I don't know.
A chainsaw or a circular saw or something, a sawzall but when you hear this, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but if it's a real small job, though, I guess it makes sense, right? If you're just doing like a small 2x4, small tree branches, then I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I think back to when my dad was a carpenter when I was a kid, and they used to use those kind of saws on, plywood, and I'm like, wow. I know they were happy when they invented those circular saws before. And the portable ones, not the ones you had to go carry the board to it.
Right, take it over to it, yeah. The ones, yeah.
So shout out to Fighter Share Nation. Hey, thank you all for joining in. We'll be back Sunday at 11:30. So, you know what? We look forward to seeing y'all more than y'all look forward to seeing us. And shout out to Mrs. Badger or Mama Badger.
I don't know if that's how that works, but anyway, yeah, man. Everybody for tuning in with us today, we appreciate it. We'll see y'all on our more refined show on Sunday. While I actually dress up and pretend like I'm going to church, but I actually be here talking to y'all about the same thing we talk about during the week. Yeah, bro, just holler at me, man. I'm living, man. This is good. Oh, and by the way, bro, I got something for you. You always talk about the lack of merch that I give you. I have something for you, brother. You will get the next couple of days. That's all I got, man. We will see y'all Sunday. He's spellbound. He can't even speak right now. He's so flattered. We'll see y'all back here Sunday on our more refined show. Show a little love. It's tough out there for everybody. In the meantime, we'll see y'all.
Is this the look of flattery?
Peace.